Hi, I'm Eric from RockyMountainATVMC.com, and today I want to do a quick walk around on our new Africa Twin. It's the new 2016 CRF 1000L Africa Twin. Honda has really worked this thing up into a frenzy with all the anticipation and little glimpses, and there's been quite a few people that actually have got to ride it already. But I just want to do a quick walk around before we get it dirty and kind of show you some of the features and explain some of it. And then later down the road, we're gonna dress it all up. We're gonna take it out. We're gonna get it dirty, I can promise. And then, we'll go over it one more time and we'll kind of show you what we like, what we don't like. So let's get started. So the ergonomics on this thing, it's classic Honda. Everything is where it's supposed to be. It feels natural. It's very comfortable. One thing on this bike that maybe sets it apart from some of these other big adventure bikes is the seat height. On like the 1190 and even the GS, it feels like these things are made for giants. They're huge. This thing is nice and slim in the middle. The seat height's nice and low. I can almost get flat-footed. I mean, it's very nice, and I'm 5'9". So another thing on the ergonomics is it's just, it feels comfortable. It feels like there's a little room to move, room to grow. The bars are nice and wide, but they don't feel like they're pulled back too far. They don't feel like they're swept too far. So very, very happy with that side of it. So one more thing as it relates to ergonomics is this tank. Everything is nice and smooth, but they were still able to get 5 gallons of gas on this thing. So that should offer plenty of range to get you where you're going. So on to the motor. The motor is a 998cc parallel twin. It's not a V-twin, and I think that's part of how they're getting that seat height a little lower, is that both cylinders are up here up front. And very smooth. The second you turn this thing on, it's got kind of a nice little, it almost sounds like a V-twin. The firing order makes it kind of sound like a V-twin a little bit, so it sounds good, but it's still very, very smooth. The exhaust seems, it comes down underneath, but it's kind of up on the side of the motor. Time's gonna tell if that's gonna be tucked up far enough or not. I'm sure we'll end up with a skid plate at some point. Moving on to the clutch, and that's what everybody's talking about. This is the DCT version. And so it's dual clutch transmission. And so basically what that is the even gears and the odd gears are set with different clutches. So the clutches are basically spinning the whole time. It's just one or the other isn't engaged. And so when it does shift, say you've got first gear that's on one clutch, second gear's on another clutch, when it shifts from first to second, it's almost seamless because it's already basically rotating. It's already shifted. All it has to do is just engage that clutch. And so there's no torque loss. It's very smooth. Now, it's a little weird. I haven't got a ton of time on this thing yet, but just first couple minutes, it feels very different. So that's something that's you're gonna have to get used to. As far as the clutch goes, it kind of transitions us into the electronics package. So you can run this thing a couple of ways. You can just do it as an automatic. So you put it in drive and you hit the gas and you let off the gas, it shifts down. I mean, it's very easy to run, but you can manually shift it. So there's no shifter down here on the bottom. It's a paddle shifter. And so over here on the side, you shift down on this side, you shift up on this side. And it's pretty intuitive. It has different modes, so you can put it in sport mode, and it has 3 levels of sport mode. So just riding around a little bit, I'm starting to get the feel of it, but it gives you different levels of performance. So it's gonna hold the gear a little longer. It's gonna shift a little bit more abruptly. It also has traction control, and there's 3 levels and off. So there's actually 4 levels, I guess you could say. There's something about these big, huge bikes when you get them out on a gravel road and you come out of a corner and you're in a feet up full drift situation where the traction control's just taken over and you feel like a hero. And in all reality, it's not you, it's the bike. But either way, I love it. But this has traction control on it. It also has a switchable ABS that doesn't seem too bad to switch it on and off. It actually only affects the rear wheel. So you're going to, for off-road, you can turn off the ABS on the rear wheel. The front wheel still keeps the ABS on. It also has something called a G switch, And what that's going to do is it's going to take some of the slip out of your clutch. So between gears and from a stop, that G switch will take some of the slip out of it. So if you get in a situation where you need really precise throttle control, you can switch that. As far as the rest of the bike, a couple things that are important to me as an off-roader, and that's the 21-inch front tire and the 18-inch rear tire. A little bit bigger tire helps it roll over obstacles a little bit better. I have really high hopes for this bike fitting my style of riding. It feels really comfortable on the street sections, and it from what we're hearing, it's capable on the off-road sections. So just really excited to get this bike and start adding some accessories, start building some parts for it, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I encourage you to stay tuned. We'll update you here in a couple weeks. We have a ride planned, and hopefully we have it set up and ready to go at that point. We'll go out, scratch it up a little bit, and bring it back, and we'll talk to you again about it. So thanks for watching this quick walk around of the Africa Twin. Make sure and subscribe so you're kept up to date with what we're doing with this thing, and we'll see you out there.